is Dr. Honorable Arvin Boolell, and he's the former Minister of Foreign Affairs, Regional Integration and International Trade, Mauritius. Dr. the Honorable Arvin Boolell is JOSK MP, is a politician hailing from the Labour Party in the Republic of Mauritius. He has served as a Minister of Foreign Affairs, Regional Integration and International Trade, and a whole lot more. I would like to quickly welcome Dr. Honorable Arvin Boolell to take the stage as he discusses cross-border initiatives on the African continent. Thank you so much, Minister. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Time is of an essence. I'll come straight to the topic that I will be glad to discuss. Now, I will refer to what Professor David Luke has stated, that the blueprint for African continental free trade agreement has been prepared, but there's a clarion call to move the process. And we have to make time to address the trade protocol of goods and services. The vast continent, with 70% of its population in sub-Saharan Africa under 30 years of age, is a wealth. And if properly harnessed, it's a major asset. Let me remind you of what was pledged by the G7. They pledged $600 billion for infrastructural push to counteract China. So it's an opportunity which is knocking. It's a pledge, but the head of states should make the most to grasp this opportunity. And I'm not going to go over the number of summits which are being held and the support being extended by many continents, and by many countries, members of the OECD. Of course, there's been the FOCAC, the EU-Africa Summit, the India-Africa Forum, the TICAD, etc. But let me refer to a specific case, the Mauritian case, of course, small island developing states and ocean state, which is a model, and I hope it remains a model of democracy and rule of law, and is a member of regional and multilateral organization. But since, like many small island developing states and many landlocked countries, it cannot punch above its weight politically and economically, and it has no choice but to be part of like-minded countries. And as a member of several regional and continental organizations, which I have mentioned, Mauritius has widened its economic base and consolidated sectors which has comparative and competitive advantages. It is one of the free island state member of the African continent. Today, as a continental free trade, Africa is the land of opportunity, and the opportunity is knocking. But where is connectivity and supply side to meet the demand, to meet the demand side? As we say, time to rise, awake, and stop not till the goals are reached. Economic diplomacy is the answer to our clarion call, and protocol and civility, yes, but we should not allow too much protocol to clog the process and cause unnecessary delay. Time is of an essence to dignified Africa. No talk shop, but walk the talk, even if you have to walk brisker than Johnny Walker without the cane. And it's time for Africa to make a fresh start and look forward to be a bread basket and not a basket case. Unacceptable that there's a high incidence of famine, especially in some parts of Southern Africa, because 30% of wheat is produced in Russia and Ukraine. Our people cannot constantly be at the mercy at the receiving end, but it is constantly breaking new pathways. And Professor Luke highlighted what these pathways are, what need to be done to address issues which are pending and outstanding. And I'm sure the political will is there to move the process. And there are lessons to be drawn from COVID and invasion of Ukraine by Russia. As a net food, feed, fuel, fertilizer importing country, Mauritius has moved towards what we call a reversal policy. And this has become inevitable, and it has to adapt to the new normal. Africa, especially the sub-Saharan region, has felt the impact of the war, and both Ukraine and Russia are breadbasket of EU and many African countries. I recall the visit made by Macky Sall, the chairman of the AU. He went to Russia and pleaded for a ceasefire and peace talk. Africa has to hope for the best and prepare for the worst. The Ukrainian president addressed EU summit on the 26th of June to enlist support from EU. But of course, everybody is keen for a ceasefire. We don't know when this will happen, but in the meantime, Africa has to be on the move. A vast continent with different soil and climate types cannot, but unfortunately is on the verge of famine due to collateral damage from the war. Cross-border initiative is a pivotal for Mauritius, as it can position itself as a powerhouse for transfer know-how and act as a springboard for countries keen to invest on the continent. As a showcase of democracy, low tax jurisdiction, compliant to OECD rules, and on base erosion and profit shifting, Mauritius is the platform for onward investment in all productive sectors of the economy: goods, services, industry, agro-industry, mining, and energy on the African continent. As battle for Asia's financial centers is heating up, Mauritius is positioning itself as a city for global finance and business, a center for asset management, and a springboard for investment on the African continent. As I say, it's opportunity for reputed African firms to establish headquarters in Mauritius for onward investment. Indian firms make the most of this opportunity. Our regulatory framework and both English and French law give us the comparative advantage, and Mauritius is the center for regional and global business. And Kigali also is becoming a center, and it's one of the competitors of Mauritius, and it's good because we want to see more jurisdiction being set up and being established. Mauritius appears to be an attractive long-term bet. Venture capitalists can use our jurisdiction to level up on food security on the African continent. Smart agriculture, be it open fields, hydroponics, or intensive shade house, create new opportunities. And there's a fixed silver lining for Africa and food security, and this should be high on the agenda of the AU summit. Countries like Mauritius can replicate its success in the production of sugarcane, a crop with a multifunctional dimension, great carbon dioxide cleanser, and we have moved a big way on the African continent. We are visible through tangible investment in the sugarcane sector in Kenya, Tanzania, and Mozambique. The Prime Minister of Mauritius jointly inaugurated the central hydroelectric plant with the Prime Minister of Rwanda just at the Chogam Summit. And it's an investment of $800 million and accounts for 25% of foreign investment in Rwanda. Between Mauritius and Malagasy, the relationship is one of historical cultural bondage, and investment in textile and garment sector is massive. Mauritius takes advantage of agua facilities extended to least developing countries. As a small island developing state and with an EEZ and extended continental shelf, it is an ocean state, and the merits of blueprint economy from fish harvesting to energy production is indeed an opportunity now. But as states and coastal state, it has to wage war on illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing activities. Of course, African Union and regional organizations have to harmonize norms on sanitary and phytosanitary. Much work has to be done. has to be covered the norms and standards of products coverage. There is no free lunch. I must say even preferential and special treatment is here, but there is no certainty over predictability. As we say, we have to adapt or perish. And Africa has come together as a nation, not only on cross-cutting issues, but on political values like democracy, governance, transparency, accountability, and confidence building should be norms and no longer exception. With India, EU, and China, our relation with Africa, our African relation is of special bondage. As a member of Pelindaba Treaty and our independence not fully completed due to occupation of part of our territorial integrity by UK, in spite of ruling given by the International Court of Justice in May 2019, Mauritius can fully tap its full potential. It is willing to consolidate partnership with like-minded countries and for a synergistic partnership, widen the circle with other genuine partners. Regional organization, open new markets for alliances of mutual convenience. Cross-border initiative has no boundaries, no peripheries, hence the relevance and importance of the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. It takes political will to say the glass is half full and opportunities are knocking with a new act. Let us get together. Africa cannot suffer from late onset decision. Let us be decisive and not divisive. Africa cannot be on the verge of famine and should, like India, be in the vanguard of food diplomacy. The grass should be greener on African continent. If it remains a basket case, then African leaders have themselves to blame. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister. This was.
I'm sorry, I have to rush things through.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine.
Because
that's
time
fine.
is of essence, you know.
Yeah, I know. That's fine. That's fine. That's really brilliant. Thank you for sharing all that beautiful details about Mauritius. In fact, I'm already thinking we have to bring a conference to Mauritius. So
yes,
get ready for us.
Look forward to
we'll be thinking about that. It's quite a beautiful place.
We'll
and
extend
I just
protocol to the best.
All right. So thank you. I just have one question for you. Yeah, sure, because I know you said so many beautiful things. I know that Mauritius has come on top of the rank in terms of doing business.
But with all due respect, you know, we've gone back a few places, and it does not go well. There's always room for improvement. Yeah.
Oh, really?
I won't go into the details because some people may say that I'm politically biased. But let's say that there's room to do better.
Okay, so well, it's I just know you anyway. In the past, you've done significantly well. So, what will be the reason for that that fall short? I mean, what will be the reason? Because we've always seen Mauritius at the top in the rank of doing business.
As I say, there's always room for improvement, but lately there's been a setback, and we have a tendency to adopt autocratic efforts. But thanks God, there is separation of power, and we have to make sure that the demarcation line between relevant institutions remain wide. And the concern is that it's unfortunately getting a little bit blurred, but of course, as opposition parties and the NGOs, and we have a free press, we certainly cluster our strength to ensure that the demarcation line remains wide.